Hello everyone, welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for this edition of YBMCast Baseball Talk. Powered by Game 7 Baseball, game7baseball.com. Game 7 Baseball. We just talked with Dave, had a lot going on there. Make sure you check that out. Go back on the channel here. Go watch the segment. A lot of information, a lot of great information. Got Black Friday sales coming out. Get some discounts for some upcoming tournaments. Make sure you go check out game7baseball.com. Watch the show. If you like what we're doing, please, while you're here, there's the thing. Watching the show, hit the subscribe button. Bing. Hit the dinger next to it. I don't have a sound effect for the bat, though. There it is. Drew helped me out, but you probably couldn't hear it. Hit that dinger. That'll get you all your notifications for upcoming episodes of the show. You can watch great content like we've got here. We've had some fantastic conversations with coaches. We got more coming. We got player spotlights coming. We've got the winter workout tour. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you're subscribed. Check it out. Get your notifications. Good stuff coming up here. We're also going to be talking about some Misha questions, some rules, and some different things that way. We're hoping to get Kenny Seifert back on and talk about umpires, some programs that Misha is putting in place for high school students to get in and umpire. So some good stuff we got coming up. Also, I think Drew's got it right up here. Am I pointing in the right direction, Drew? Good. It's right there. We have our dad's coaches coaching clinic. If you're a dad coach and you'd like to learn more, if you feel like you can always learn more, get more out of your coaching as far as the mechanics of things, and not just mechanics and drills, but also understanding how to coach. You know, the one thing that I think is the most difficult is how you're relating to players, what keeps, you know, especially with the youth coaches, how to develop practice plans, how to manage and navigate the parents. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just got to learn how. Well, you know, these are parents that, you know, are trying to help their kids. You know, we've got some great coaches going to be there for these clinics in Tony Perkins, Mason Horn, Tim Canavan, Kevin Mulder, Darren Sissel. Don't miss it. Go to the website. Drew, we'll put the links in the description here so you can sign up. We got one here in O'Fallon, Missouri, over at the Hitting Zone. It's Saturday, December 9th, and then down at Champions Village on December 16th. These are Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon. Go check this out. Get involved, get in there, get some great information from all these coaches. It'll be a lot of fun. Hey guys, just want to give a shout out. Prime Sports Midwest. Black Friday sales coming up. Check out the video here. You don't want to miss it.
So this area back here is basically production. They do a lot of the artwork back here. They do the production. So any of that stuff that comes in off of, we'll say, our fanware stores, stuff that comes in off the team stores, a lot of the coaches wear, a lot of the last minute, hey, we got to have it in the next 10 minutes stuff. That's all comes back here. This area is where all the day-to-day stuff that comes in really goes through. The retail store is its own little entity. This is where the real work is done.
We're going to talk a little bit here. We're going to start with a conversation I'm putting up here, and Drew will have this up here just for you looking at this. I'm going to be releasing the too early, our pre-Thanksgiving, basically, power rankings for the GAC. I like to do this because I start looking at players. I start looking at the teams early. I start looking at who's there. What do I think? What are we going to see? How are we previewing? Getting ready for our GAC preview when we're talking to coaches, what players they got coming back, where they're going to be, where do they think they're going to be. And I have it on my own brain, where I think we're going to start seeing some of these teams. And the thing about it is with the GAC, and you always have to remember this, you have Class 6 schools, you have Class 5 schools, and you have Class 4 schools within the GAC conference. So there are these divisions from the north to the central to the south. The central is really the only. It's a mix. Although we've added North Point, the Grizzlies, they're in the North Division, and they'll probably end up being Class 5. Could be, I think, Class 5 this year. I think they were Class 5 last year as well. So I think that's where they'll be again this year. So they're going to be in there with a lot of the Class 4 schools. So that'll be interesting. But right off the top, power rankings, Francis Howell. The 2024 version of Francis Howell may be better than 23. They were second place in Class 6 last year, losing to Liberty North, the state champs. In 22, they were third place, losing to in an epic 9-inning battle. I mean, it was epic. Liberty North, state champions. So Liberty North has been back-to-back state champs, and that's where Francis Howell has ended their year for the last 2 years. But I think this year, they're primed. I think they have more pitching depth. I think they've got, the players, seniors, Titus Sissel. You have Adam Shipley, Alex Bryan, pitching depth. Of course, the junior Leo Humbert. These are all guys that were big parts of the team last year, these 4 leaders. And I think that will make an impact. They're one of the more, they are one of the probably 4 or 5 deepest teams in the state when it comes to talent. And that doesn't mean, and you know what's interesting is, Zumwalt West beat this team like 4 times last year before the district title game. So, that's just kind of the crazy thing about it. Talent. This is why the GAC is so tough because, depth is key to success, but that doesn't always guarantee a win. So there you go. Eli Skidmore's back. The Brett Schneider brothers are there. Brennan Wibbenmeyer. We saw Brennan out at a PBR event. He's ranked pretty good in PBR. He's committed. I think this young athlete, big, tall, strong kid, big arm, good bat, is going to fit right in there with these guys. You've got more pitching, I think, this year, like I said, than anything. And then just the depth of their roster. What is it? The sophomore, Dylan Curtis, coming up. Jake Brett Schneider, who has been getting a lot of pub recently. Him and Dylan Curtis both. So I think pitching-wise, I think Coach P is going to be in pretty good shape. So I'm putting Francis Howell at the top. I think it's a pretty safe bet. Down at number 2, though, is I think their nemesis, man, the team that has been really tough on Francis Howell for the last few years, and that is Fort Zumwalt West. Coach Goff, he's lost some players over the last couple of years, but he always seems to find a way to get his team in position to win. Nick Alagna's coming back, Nolan Whiteside, Logan Kowick. These are guys that have been part of this team. Nick Alagna was the starting shortstop his sophomore year, and he has just been good. You added the freshman last year and ended up playing shortstop. Alagna, I believe, went to second base. So now these two guys working together in the middle of that infield, I think is going to be something special to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Sissom is he's a Mizzou commit and I think it's just going to be interesting to watch these two play up the middle. We'll see what else. We'll see what kind of pitching that Zumwalt West has. So I think this is. We'll talk more about this as we move along. I get Kevin Mulder. Didn't get Kevin on the show today because he was out sick. That's okay. It happens. And but so we're going to talk a little bit more about these guys. In the 3 spot, power ranking wise, I'm going with Fort Zumwalt South. Zumwalt South was a Class 5 school last year. They border on that Class 5, Class 6 line. So, we'll see. I don't know what those numbers are. I believe they were a Class 5 in football this year as well. So they've got guys returning from the last 2 years. Carter Cox, NIU, Connor Mendel, NIU. These two guys right there. Connor Mendel behind the plate has got one of the most lethal arms in the GAC. This kid can throw you out from anywhere. I've seen him backpick guys out at second base. You get too far off second base and you don't hustle back, you're going to get picked off. That's just it. It's just, wow. Cannon of an arm. Good offense. Evan Fullhorse going to Valpo. Connor Hankey, another pitcher. That 1-2 punch on the mound coming back for Fort Zumwalt South. I think South is going to be another they could be that central champ again this year. Very good team. All those guys are coming back. Coach Friedel has got a lot of those guys coming back. So the only thing, and I'm going to say this, I've been the last two guys, a little more sportsmanship on the field, fellas, please. I don't mean it bad. I don't mean it, but I've seen a couple of incidents. A little more sportsmanship, please. Don't do that to your school or your coach. That's all I'm going to say. I can't help it. I see it. I call it as I see it. I love these guys. We're going to have Carter Cox on, hoping to get Connor Mendel as well on a player spotlight here not too long. I really enjoy talking to Carter. He's a fun kid. And we got a chance to talk with Connor Mendel at the state championships last year. So I'm looking forward to those conversations. Number 4, Holt. Yep, Chase Lassiter. Chase was fun to talk to. We had him on a player spotlight last year. Chase Lassiter, he's going to Maryville. Dalton Hosack, Kyle Edgar. Those 3 right there, man, that the 1-2 punch on the mound, Lassiter behind the plate, offensively, defensively, right there, I think is going to put them in the running. They should be in that central running there with South. Those are going to be some fun games to watch. We watched Hosack against Liberty, and I'm trying to remember. I know because it was a young man that his brother played for me. Oh, geez. Way back in the day. That's why, and it just popped in my head as I was talking. I didn't have this in the notes, but we had Holt and Liberty at the game of the week last year. Remember, Drew? And it was 2 lefties going at each other. And Hosack, I think Liberty won 1-0, I think it was, wasn't it? Or was it the other way around? Well, either way, it was a pitching duel, and it was a really good one. So I think that's what we're in for a lot this year. Hosack coming back, he's going to SIUE. So that pitching on the mound is really going to be the key. And that's where I see, if you got the depth on the mound, that's where I see those things going. So Holt there, Timberland, they got some young guys. They got guys coming back that are younger, but Carson Ramos, Richie Swain, that's going to be big time right there. Brad Stump, coming back pitching. But Richie Swain, that arm, that's a big-time arm. Carson Ramos behind the plate, big-time kid. So Timberland right there at number 5. I don't know too much more about them yet. They lost a lot there. They had a lot of seniors go on. So we'll see a little bit more. Liberty right behind them, number 6. Braden Schnurbush and Colton Waldron. Jake Greer. Remember that name, folks, Jake Greer. We saw, the first time I'd seen Jake was in the cages. We were doing the bat demo with Prime Sports Midwest. My goodness, that bat, it's a wrecking crew. Goodness. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think Liberty, I don't think they're going to sneak up on anybody, but I think that team could be a little bit higher, but I want to see where they're going to be. I'm looking forward to talking with Coach Reeder about that squad, because I think that could be one that maybe could be a little higher. For Zumwalt East, they've got guys coming back. Jackson Carter, Eric Williams, the seniors leading it, Ryan Clethermus, and then the sophomore, the freshman from last year, the sophomore Brendan Pyle. All these guys. This is a talented team. I think it'll be interesting to see where they're going to get their pitching. They've got some guys, but offensively, if these bats are going, they can score runs. We're just going to have to wait and see what kind of pitching Zumwalt East has. Troy Buchanan, Bryson Klein, Caleb Naust, Avon Weaver, John Ryder. I think Troy, they kind of were the surprise a little bit last year. Had a great season. Coach Rogers there. Looking forward to seeing it. I got them at 8. We'll see how that team comes together. And then rounding out, I'm putting North Point there at number 9. Brandon McQuarrie, Jack Cowling, Peyton Bridle. We saw them last year against Troy. It went extra innings. It was really cold. It was one of our Friday night lights. But it was just a heck of a good game out at Troy Buchanan. And I think North Point might be, we've talked about it. We've had that conversation with Kevin. I think North Point is close right there. I think they could win the Central. I think they've got the players to do it. They might still be a year away from really getting to that next level. But, hey, I like North Point. I like where they're at. Coach Hellman, it'll be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to get Coach Hellman this year. We didn't get him in the GAC preview last year, but we will this year. Francis House Central, Washington, they round out. Those two teams lost a lot of guys. I think Washington, I'm looking forward to seeing what Coach Goff has down there. Dane Goff, that's Coach Eric Goff's brother. And Coach Beckman, I think he's got some kids coming in at the freshman level that are going to be good for him. I think that's going to be an interesting play, what we see there, and how that plays out. So these are two teams to watch. That's why I put them right there. They could be better. They could be, staying right in that mix. We're just going to have to wait and see what kind of talent, what sets up, and where they go from here. So that's what I got. Kind of the pre-Thanksgiving top 10 power rankings for the GAC. We are going to take a look a little bit at the state. I'm going to do that real quick because there are 5 teams, maybe 6 here, that I think are worth mentioning and worth looking at right now. And, I'm not trying to be biased. I'm just looking at teams around the state. And when we get Kevin back and we get back, we're gonna get into these conversations because there are some really good baseball teams in this state. A lot in the north central, northwest part of the state. But I'm going to lead off, and I'm doing this with Class 6 only right now. These are just Class 6 schools, okay? I know that it's a common practice to put the state champs at the number one when you get a preseason. And no offense to Coach Stiegel, I think his team's going to be really good. I got him in the top 5. But there are teams that are deeper. Maybe not the, and experience-wise have been playing together. So I think when you lose Tate McGuire, that's a tough one. You still got Trey Schneider, Bo Jonas, and we've got those guys coming on a player spotlight. We're looking forward to talking to them about the upcoming season as well. But I got Francis Howell and Blue Springs South sitting at the top there. These are two of the deepest teams I've seen so far. Senior commits for Blue Springs South, there's 8 senior commits on that squad. And one Power 5 guy in there. And we'll talk about the names later. I'm just kind of giving an overview real quick. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail with this, but you got, well, wait a minute. That's why I did this. Let's do this because this will be fun. I changed my mind, Drew. Yeah, no, we're not editing nothing here. Look at this, man. Blue Springs South, Matt Collins, right-handed pitcher, Benedictine College in Kansas. Jackson De La Tour, Emporia State. Grant Hollister, of course, the third baseman, going to Indiana. Colby Deaver, Missouri Western State. Jackson Stetnich, Jeffco. You've got Aiden Hollader, New York University. Wow, that's pretty impressive right there. Colin Dobson, CMU Central. No, UCM, excuse me. My fault. Don't want to mess that up. So you got all these guys here played together through that 8 senior commits there. And I know people go, well, wait a minute. Well, Grant Hollister sets that in motion. Then you got 4 D2, with 4 D2 commits. You have a junior Power 5 commit as well with Blue Springs South. So I think that's impressive. Francis Howell, on the other side of that, when you look at this, Alex Bryan, Maryvale University, Grayson Coleman, John Wood Community College, Brennan Wibbenmeyer's going to Missouri S&T, Owen Larrigan, Moberly Community College, Max Gunther, Moberly, Schaefer Craddock, Moberly Community College, Quinn Redfield, Jeffco, of course, Titus Sissel leading that group there, going to Mizzou. Then you have Adam Shipley going to SLU. And so you got 2 D1 guys there that are leading that senior squad. These are the 2 deepest teams I've seen so far here, folks. And I think that plays a lot. So Francis Howell, Blue Springs South, I think that's going to be very interesting there. 1-2. I'm going to put a little edge to Francis Howell right now because I think the junior commits. You got 2 D1 junior, of course, Leo Humbert going to Mizzou. I think they just are a little bit. I think their pitching depth. We're going to see what Blue Springs South has. We'll go from there. The next one on the list, Blue Springs. Blue Springs, Missouri. And I'll tell you, again, you're looking at Nick Gibler going to Central Missouri, Gabe Rogers going to Central Missouri. Trenton Mitchell, Pratt Community College, Drew McConnell, Evansville, it's a D1 program. Of course, the big left-handed pitcher, Cole Gibler, going to Arkansas, and then Lincoln Stevenson, right-handed pitcher, UCM. So you got 2 right-handed pitchers on this squad going to one of the top D2 programs in the country. You have a left-handed pitcher going to Arkansas. You got three really, really good arms right there. Blue Springs is going to be tough, guys. It's just going to be tough. So we're looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table. That's why, and you could put either one of those 3 teams at number 1. between Francis Howell, Blue Springs South, and Blue Springs. The next one, though, man, Lee Summit West. Yeah, another school that is deep and loaded. Lee Summit West, you've got Rocco, I'm going to butcher this name, though, Marchese, I guess. Northwest Missouri State, Sebastian Coleman, Missouri Southern. Braden Barbie going to Rockhurst. Then you have Jack Kessler, UCM, Central Missouri. Caden Carter going to Missouri Southern. Oh, boy, that messed me up. That's a Lee Summit North kid, Jack Kessler. But Caden Carter going to Missouri Southern. Then you have Austin Marsh going to Northwest Missouri State. And then, of course, Drew Dickerson going to Oklahoma. You've got Owen Pauley going right over here to UMSL. It's a nice pickup there. But we're gonna have Drew Dickerson. We're getting him on the show. We'll have a player spotlight with Drew Dickerson. Looking forward to that conversation. But here again, you look at this, man. Right-handed pitcher right there. Lee Summit West is going to be tough to beat. And you got Liberty down here, Liberty KC, Tanner Warner, Southeast Missouri State, Timothy Texiera, Southern Illinois Edwardsville, right-handed pitcher, Tyler Holman going to SLU, right-handed pitcher. 3 senior starting pitchers in that lineup. Again, here we go. This is so tough to look at, and I've got Liberty right there kind of on the outside looking into that top 5 maybe. Staley is another one that's going to be really good, and all these are right in that area. That's at District 8 over there, that those guys just beat up on each other all the time. And you really have to, be very careful. You've got, of course, Kenton Unruh going to Bradley, Hampshire, Johnson County, Jackson Gluck going to Pima Community College out in Arizona, Lucas Wilson, that's Coach Dave Wilson's son, Johnson County, Aiden Bond, Crowder. If you're going to Crowder, man, that's one of the top JCs there. We're going to have Kenton Unruh, Jackson Gluck, and Luke Wilson on a player spotlight. We appreciate these coaches helping us out and getting us connected with these young men so we can do these player spotlights. It's a lot of fun talking to these guys, and looking forward to that going into the season. So there's Staley. Here's one that's a little more closer to home, I think, could be interesting, and that's Lafayette High School here over in Wildwood, Missouri. I think this one they won their district last year, got into the quarterfinals, lost there, but I think they're going to be back. They're going to be difficult to beat, led by Xander Schmidt, another one we're looking forward to having on a player spotlight. We'll have him in the weeks to come. Going to Kansas, you got Paul Pratt, Drury University, Tyson Oswald, Wabash Valley Junior College, Will Gebhardt, Drury, Lane Chapman, Missouri Southern. You've got a nice group of seniors leading that team, and they got some depth on that squad with some juniors. They've got some really nice talent, and I think Lafayette could sneak up in there. Nix is another one. Ray Peck, though, over in Kansas City, they got 3 senior commits. They got two Power 5 pitchers on that squad, so you're looking at going to be some tough games there against Raymore Peculiar. CBC is going to be tough. They lost a lot of seniors last year. Republic down there. Seckman, I think Seckman's going to be interesting to watch. They got 5 senior commits. Seckman's going to be an interesting team down in South. And you're talking about with Jackson High School down there, between those teams, I think Seckman's got a interesting squad and could be a team to, you got, there it is. Kobe Brown going to Lakeland JC, Nathan Higgins, St. Louis Community, Caden Kohlberg, Southeast Missouri State, SEMO commit. You got a Jeffco commit in Hayden Boyd, their shortstop. That kid, I've seen him. He's a talented young player. So Seckman's going to be tough. Kind of maybe challenge Jackson a little bit down there. And I think Jackson's going to be another one. They'll be back. They're a little younger, but you got J.P. Sauer going to Tulane. A right-handed pitcher, you got that D1 arm on the mound, man. That makes a big difference, and that kid can pitch. So I'm looking forward to it. So that's kind of our look, an early look there. But, I think you can, between Francis Howell, Blue Springs South, Blue Springs, Lee Summit West, Staley, Liberty North, Lafayette, you could probably put them in any kind of order. And, if you've got somebody that you're looking at, I need to do this more. Comment below. I don't do that enough. I think Liberty Winsville could be a team that's up in that maybe top 20. I definitely think DeSmet Jesuit, Coach Canavan's squad's going to be, Vianney's offense clicks. They could be right there in that top mix. Eureka should be good again this year. And so I think there's going to be some really good baseball played in this spring season. Comment below. Tell me what you think. If I missed a team that you think should be there, please let us know and why. Throw some stuff in there. We'd appreciate it. We appreciate listening. We want to hear. And we'll have some more conversation about this because I will definitely have the guru coming on the show, and we'll catch up with Kevin and talk some more power rankings and look at these teams and the depth that we're seeing here, especially at the Class 6 level with these schools. So we hope you enjoyed that. Little something preview for Thanksgiving. Don't forget, and you probably saw the video already, but Black Friday sales going on, Prime Sports Midwest. I should have done that. And so just make sure you get over there, check out the Black Friday sales. They're coming out. Prime Sports Midwest. Do that. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We hope that you enjoy your Thanksgiving with your family and friends. We're going to be, our family's off. We're going to be traveling next week, so there will be no YBMcast next week. So please check out some of the, if you got some time to kill, please go check out the show. Check out the previous episodes. Go watch some of the live stream games that we had from live. Go watch some of the GAC games of the week. We had some great games. Some Friday Night Lights. We did some Missouri showcases. So we have a lot of stuff on the channel. Go check it out. We appreciate it very much. We appreciate you supporting Youth Baseball Midwest. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy. Have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes. And hitters, hit them where they aim. We'll see y'all next time.